This is the Mr. Mike Agostinho, and you're listening to the Mr. Benfica podcast channel. All right, everybody, welcome. We are live on a Wednesday night this week. Some things, my fault, everybody. Some things go down in our professional lives, and I couldn't record last night, so the guys were kind enough to reschedule. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Mauricio. Welcome, Derek, on a rare Wednesday night here, but I think it actually works out because gives us, we have cup action tomorrow. We had cup action today. I want to start with it. Have you ever seen a competition where the semifinals start before the quarterfinals are complete? We had Faf and Torres playing to a 1-1 draw today.
Yeah.
In the first leg of their semifinal.
Yeah.
In about 70 days or so, they'll play the second leg. And it's another episode of the telenovela.
Classic Portuguese organization.
Only in the Tugao.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But, a lot to unpack. We had to record. We had to go live this week. We had to have the show because so much has happened. Let's start in Europe because I think it was a historic night for Portuguese football.
It feels so long ago.
Yes, it really does. It really does. It really does. And if you don't like the way things are, just wait a day or two. It'll change. But last week we saw all four Portuguese teams book their passage. Three of which are skipping the play-in round, and they're going straight to the round of 16.
Pretty amazing.
So congrats to Sporting, to Porto, and to Braga for all qualifying for the round of 16 in their tournaments, and of course Benfica with a wherever they got that from kind of night against Real Madrid. We did say how we wouldn't be surprised if it was competitive, and it was competitive.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised with how complacent Real Madrid were a little bit. Those red cards at the end are inexcusable.
Yeah,
in stoppage time to go down to 9 men, and then now you suddenly have to defend a set piece, and Benfica has a 6'7" goalkeeper that comes up, and nobody could do anything about it. And I think Trubin proved he may be the best header of the ball on the entire roster last Wednesday. Benfica somehow, some way, Mourinho gets it done. This is something he said in the post match that he thought he'd seen it all in his career, and then this happened. Awesome. The worst part, we were talking during this, was he didn't know he needed a goal and up until just about the moment that set piece happened.
He mentioned that in the
I'm watching it, and you can see the crowd is starting to get anxious, and they're whistling, and they're trying to push the team forward, and Trubin is laying down on the ball, and then they're touching it backwards and just holding it on. You could see they did not know they needed a goal. At one point, I think what happened was there was a confusion. Sporting scored and went ahead. Okay. And that didn't change anything for Benfica because they were already ahead of Athletic Bilbao at that point. It was when Sporting drew level, that pushed Benfica ahead of Athletic Bilbao, and there was a cheer for that. When Sporting went ahead, Benfica fans cheered again. And I think that must have communicated to the bench that the result was what they needed. Until I think somebody actually looked at it and said, hey, we need another goal. That, before anything, that would have been the most indefensible way to go out.
Yeah.
If Benfica don't find that goal. And they're sitting there on a 3-2 result, needing a goal. That would have been something that Mourinho would have had to explain, and wouldn't have gone over well.
I feel like it was meant to be. Like Marseille lost to Club Brugge 3-0.
By 3.
Yes.
It was almost like it was just meant to be.
The number of results that had to go Benfica's way that is unbelievable. I never expected that. No. I would have been happy with just a 3-2 and going out with the head held high, and then suddenly the results start falling the way you need them to. Yeah. And then it hits a point where all the other matches are over and it's only Benfica playing. And I heard Sky, I think it was Sky Sports that said they think Mourinho intentionally delayed the start of the second half so that he would know exactly what he had to do in stoppage time. And I think that's given him a little too much credit there.
Yeah.
But knowing nobody else could help you, Benfica needed a goal. And fortunately, they figured it out before it was too late. Trubin even said he was confused as to why he was being sent up. Yeah. But as soon as he got up there, it kind of all started to come together. But
crazy.
And then to draw Real Madrid again right after that, which
Yes.
whatever happens now, it's all gravy
course.
in my opinion. And
Right.
but yeah,
But
Portuguese
there's
football.
a chance.
Yeah, Portuguese football really won last week, and we went ahead of the Dutch league, which I didn't expect to happen anytime soon.
Me neither.
Yeah,
But the Dutch have had a
Such
down year.
remarkable campaign.
Yeah, they had a down year, and the Portuguese teams
Yeah.
are on up year. And the problem is the way this thing is set up is now the way it looks like is after this season we'll go ahead of them, and at the end of the next season we'll get an extra team.
Yeah.
So what happens is now our points will be divided by 6 instead of 5 again, and the cycle starts to repeat itself because that 6th team is probably not going to accomplish anything.
Yes. Yeah.
And
We'll
then-
be back in 7th place.
And we'll be back in 7th place. And I think this is our, future. It's just kind of yo-yoing between 5th and 7th.
There's no depth in the league.
No, and we're relying on 4 teams to get all of the points.
And
that's
we
pretty much.
discussed it. There were historic clubs that did have fan support that could have been a viable 5th, 6th option.
Mm-hmm.
But those teams are essentially obsolete. Boavista had a very strong.
Have you seen the latest on them?
Yes.
It is really bad.
Have you seen their field?
Yeah, I saw somebody vlogged and they were playing, and another game in like the same division was going on the field at the same complex. They're playing in a complex. They're not in the stadium. It's they're in the bottom.
Stadium's abandoned in dirt.
They were a
rubble.
big club.
Yeah, and they split into two clubs, and they're both playing in the same level. They're gonna play each other, I think, before too long. It's an ugly situation at Boavista.
Yeah.
The Belenenses have been, trying to get back.
I mean, Vitoria Setúbal was a big club.
Vitoria Setúbal is another one playing in the districts.
Marítimo had a fan base as well. And those clubs are not in the first division.
Académica's looking okay.
But you can certainly make the argument there. Yeah, absolutely.
Académica. Beira Mar has been trying to get out of the 4th tier for a long time. So these clubs that we knew and these clubs that have a following are struggling, and it's showing in the first division because I think, although I say it, but then we see this past weekend when the 17th place team gets a point against Benfica, and they can do it for one day.
And the 16th place team gets all 3 points against
Porto. Exactly. They can do it for a day. They can do it 3 times a year at home against the big teams. But they can't do it for 34 rounds. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think these heavy conditions are helping the smaller teams.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's worth noting. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point because we don't like to make these excuses, but it's obviously going to be easier for teams that are just trying to bunker in when the conditions get unplayable. And we talked off air about the current weather situation in Portugal and how we kind of prefer the freezing cold we're experiencing here to, having everything wash away with nonstop rain and
constant.
We talked about the rubble
that the goalies in the Benfica Tondela game. It was just a puddle of mud in front of them in that field.
It's crazy. Winter in Portugal is like this, but this is even for what they're used to. This is a new level. So added difficulties. It's wreaked havoc on the lower leagues, on the 3rd, 4th, and district leagues because so many facilities are unplayable. Fortunately, the Liga 3 isn't scheduled to start again until the 15th. Hopefully, things are back up and running, but it's a tough situation. So anyone who might be over there, we're thinking of you guys, and it's hopefully the weather turns soon and things can start to dry out and power and services can be restored. But this is again getting these 4 teams into the knockout stages. I think says a lot about our league, about these teams in our league. I try to be careful. I don't want to assign it to the whole league, because there's a big difference between these 4 teams and everybody else. With the exception maybe of Vitoria. When they're there, they also have the support system, they have the infrastructure, they have the capability of building a roster that can do this. But I mean, we're looking at Sporting and Benfica potentially on the same path in the Champions League, depending on another miracle.
Like my nightmare on Elm Street, please.
I don't really want to see it either, Derek.
That's history. That's history in the making, right there.
Because losing would crush me.
It'd be worse than losing. Yeah, exactly. You want to go out of the Champions League against the Real Madrids and the Barcelona.
Yeah, you want to go out against those
the
guys.
Bayern Munichs, PSGs. You don't want to go out against the rival. Your neighbor.
Because they're going to talk about it for decades.
Decades.
Yeah. So
right.
It's a tall order because Benfica
it would be soul crushing.
Would have to pull off another miracle over 2 legs this time, which is even harder.
Yeah.
And I think Real Madrid, for whatever instability they're experiencing, have so much quality there that I can't imagine them going 3 games like this. It'd be a tall order, but you never know. But let's talk about Sporting in the Champions League, because they kind of got overshadowed a little bit by Benfica's victory. But this was correct me if I'm wrong, a historic league phase.
Historic win is our first ever victory in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
First ever victory in Spain, and we've been to Spain plenty of times. Actually, it was, I think, 13 or 14 years ago the last time we visited Bilbao. It was the semifinal of the Europa League, and we went in there with a 1-goal lead, and we left eliminated from the competition. So this is pretty sweet. It was a little bit of revenge, I mean, it was a great night. Again. Sporting ran into that first half. The issue that they ran into the first half is sort of the issue that they've been running into these last few games. Is where other teams are really exploiting how slow we are in our initial phase of construction. I think that the passes are too lateral. They're too passive. We're not pushing the ball. Other teams are picking up on it. And they're winning the ball high on the pitch, and they're putting our defense under tremendous pressure. That's essentially how Bilbao scored those 2 goals in the first half. But again, the flip side of the coin is this: when a team is using that much intensity, is playing with that much aggression, they do tend to tire. And you saw that in the second half. You saw that Bilbao wasn't pressing with that kind of intensity. Sporting were able to circulate the ball better. They ended up, I think, being by far the better team in the second half. Big difference. I think, Rui Borges got it completely right with the subs. So I can think back here. It feels like it was so long ago. But I remember Pot coming in, Hidemasu Morita came in, and Eduardo Quaresma came in around the 55, 60-minute mark. And those guys really revolutionized the game. You start Sporting penetrating with greater effect. The goal, Trincão's goal, was just, classic. It's classic Sporting. The quick passes up the middle, in the interior, finding those channels, finding a way to get into the net. It was a great goal. Then as the game progressed, you saw Bilbao trying to fight back, trying to win the game. They're trying to get into the Champions League as well. And just an absolute killer counterattack to win the game. It was a killer counterattack. Potts made the great one-time pass. I can't believe Lucho Suarez didn't score. I feel like he misses the easy one.
Yes. Yes.
And just this past weekend, he missed the easy one, and he scored the impossible one. This is just what he does. So he missed the easy one, but luckily Alisson, came up big and put us into the round of 16. So it's a historic night. It's the first time we ever won in Spain. It showed again. We're battle tested. We fought, we believed
very much.
And we won. So it was a really moralizing victory. Again, if we're counting what just happened this past Sunday, that's 4 games in a row that we've won after the 90-minute mark. So we can't keep on doing this.
No.
This is not sustainable.
That's the difference between Sporting and Benfica right now is these goals after the 90th minute. So
great. Credit to them. it's gratifying. It's thrilling when we do it. You know, it's a great feeling, but we can't keep on doing this. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, no, I mean that's my 2 cents about Europe. I mean, it's great. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season when we got this draw, and we drew PSG and we drew Bayern Munich, Juventus, Napoli, our pot 4 team was away at Bilbao.
Right.
It was Olympique Marseille. If you were to tell me they we're going to finish in the top 8, I would have thought you were crazy. You know, so yeah, it's been a great run. You know, Mike alluded to like our paths here, but it's if the favorites do win, we're going to run into either Real Madrid or Inter Milan.
Yeah.
So the run will probably end there. But it's an unforgettable run. It's sport. It's this is only the 3rd time that Sporting has made the round of 16 of the Champions League. We had made this quarterfinals of the European Cup back in the 80s, but since it became the Champions League, this is only our 3rd time in the round of 16. So it's historic. You know, it's memorable. We'll remember it.
Yeah.
Mauricio, what were your thoughts looking back at Sporting and then the other 3 Portuguese teams?
Like Derek said, we came off slow. It looks like they're high press a little bit. Our defense getting the ball out of the back, we were just off on our passes. We just couldn't connect. And even Humlin on that first goal, that touch that he had, he wasn't really into the game either. He didn't look like himself. And I looked at Derek right away, and I was like, "What was that touch right there?" Like I never see him do that, especially in our own end like that. He's usually over on top of the ball, commanding it, knowing where to go with the first touch and the pass and everything. Everything looked off, but I love the resiliency that they showed. Every time we were down, they didn't panic. We came back and we scored, and we tied the game back up. We went down again, tied it back up again. So I like the resiliency that they showed. The second half, like Derek said, I think the subs really switched it on. Usually I'm critical of Borges on his subs. Usually he waits a little bit longer, and he gets like 1 or 2 mixed up, but this time he really got them good. And it did help the team a lot. I thought they played listen, I didn't see this coming at all. I was hoping just for a tie in Spain, the way things have been going on over there. But to get that win, Allison to score that goal, of all the people, for him to get it. And, because that kid's just he just accepted his role. He knew what his role was. I'm only going to play a couple minutes, and I'm going to make the most of it. And he really made the most of it in that game. And it's a lot of merit to Rui Borges, because like Derek said, there is no way. If you're a Sporting fan, you're going to tell me you saw a top 8, you're really not telling me the truth. You're really not. And for him to do what he did, he's really putting all those Ruben lovers really to sleep right now. He really is, with what he's doing with the team, the confidence that he's getting from the team, the respect and loyalty he's getting from the players and everything. It's really just tipping my cap to him. He's been really calm, cool, with everything. And Suarez he's just been on fire. He's making a real big deal out of this money that we got for him. People were saying, is he really worth it? A second division striker out of Spain. And now it's like, you know what? You're telling me we got 2 strikers now in a row with the money that we've invested, that we've hit on? That's a big deal.
And they were both from the second division.
That says something.
He's going
there's
through
value there. Yeah.
He's going through a Cabral who they missed on. They're going with Ivanovic, another 25 million.
Absolutely.
When you miss on these type of players, and Sporting has hit the last twice in a row, it's a big deal. And for him just to keep showing up the way he is, and let's not forget, he's playing the full 90, and and he's just going all the time, all gas.
Yeah. There's no
he's pressuring that goalie, running up and down. Fultis has been hurt. Hopefully he comes back for this game tomorrow for the Dasa.
No, he's not.
Out that he might.
They opted to hold him out because of the weather conditions. The field's going to be too heavy, so they want to hold him out a couple.
So I give my credit to him too, because there's no backup forward we have. We just loaned out Vedel. He was our backup, and we just loaned him out to Germany. So listen, with everything that's been going on with the team and everything, it was awesome, that result, what they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like you said, Sporting moved to the round of 16. They get to watch the playoff round from home. Get very important. I know Bernardo Silva said after Man City's game, because when he found out they were going to get the bye thanks to Real Madrid dropping out of the top 8, that's going to be crucial. Those 2 weeks of not having to play midweek, and how important that is. Same holds true for Sporting, especially with what happened in the league this weekend, with Porto dropping points. Maybe we'll segue to that.
Wow.
What a setup for the Classico coming up this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And we see a vulnerable Porto for the first time, I think. And
we're having a much different conversation.
We've been so high on them, and suddenly everything changes with one result, and the timing of that one result is really the key piece here, because now if Sporting can win this weekend, we have a race. And
we have it's a three-headed. It could be a three-headed race.
It could be a three-headed race, because even though Benfica slipped up against Tondela, if Sporting beat Porto and Benfica win at home against Alverca, Benfica are suddenly only 6 points back.
Yes.
And 5 behind Sporting. It's still a long way, but it's suddenly.
It looked like on Sunday night they were going to be 12 points back.
Exactly. Everything changed. Exactly. And I guess it's when you least expect it is when these things tend to happen.
When these things happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And where do we think Porto is right now psychologically? Knowing that Farioli, now I'll open this discussion. I've kind of, I've kind of not given it any thought all season.
That's a loaded question. It really
about
is.
what happened last year at Ajax.
Exactly. That's what's playing in. Yeah.
Because if Sporting win this weekend, I think those conversations start to happen.
Oh, those ghosts reappear.
Those ghosts reappear.
It's back in your mind.
What do we think? What do you guys think Porto's psychology is right now? Where are they? Are they fragile, or are they just going to shake this off and beat Porto and remind us who they are this weekend? What's more likely?
I think. Go ahead, Derek. Derek, you go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they're going to want to show everybody that this was just
a fluke.
So I think even though a tie would suit them still, they still have a 4-point buffer. I think they're going to want to show everybody that this was just a fluke.
Yeah.
And they're going to go in there to win.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to play cautiously. I think they're going to. I think they would have played more cautiously if they'd beaten Casapia, and they had a 7-point lead. Then they know a tie is a great result.
Yeah.
But now they're going to want to show everybody that that was just a blip in the radar. It's okay. We're still Porto. We're still the overwhelming favorites. We're playing at home. So I think they're going to be extra motivated. How is it going to play on the pitch? We'll find out. Even though Sporting is struggling to win these games, and they're winning at the end here. At least they're coming into this game battle tested. They've had some wars these last couple of weeks against PSG, Bilbao. They really had to gut out these victories. Aroca, Nacional. So. At least they're going in there battle tested. If they do go down, they're still going to believe that they can come back and come back from the results. So because they've proven that they can. So it's such an interesting matchup. But yeah, like you said, a Sporting victory can flip this whole thing upside down. So I mean, like we have one Super Bowl on February 8th. And we got another Super Bowl on February 9th. Really good. I think it's just going to be it's going to be an all-out war. Sporting have to go in with the mentality that they have to win. Porto are going to want to win to prove everybody that this game was just a mistake. So yeah, it's going to be a really intriguing battle. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm super excited for this game.
What do you think, Mauricio? You've seen more of Porto, I think, than the rest of us have. What do you expect from them? You know them a little better than we do.
I saw that whole game, the Gazapia Porto one.
Yeah.
You could tell after the game, they were frustrated. It's almost like, what the hell just happened? They were like a little bit in shock. But like what Derek had said, I expect them to come out like angry. Like I think the first 25 minutes for Sporting at the Dragão is huge. I think the first 25 minutes, if you can get the crowd to start whistling, get them a little frustrated on their own team with how the game is going and stuff like that, I think will be huge for the rest of the way how that game plays out. Because you can tell, even William on that red card, that's not something you see. He did like a Karate Kid kick on the guy, for Christ's sake. And what still boggles my mind in that Porto game, I've always said this. You have the one diamond in the rough who can actually break down a defense, who is awesome on the ball, and that's Rodrigo Moura. And you refused to put him in that game where you needed a guy to control the ball, especially in those conditions. And he's great at finding some move, even on those headers and everything. And I still don't know why Farioli did not play him. I don't know why. We've talked about this.
He looks at him very differently
on the podcast several times. He's brought him down a little bit. He hasn't played him, or he doesn't want to. I don't know. For some reason, he just didn't that game, and I don't know why. But you can tell, Gazapia had even more chances to get a bigger lead.
It could have been 3-1.
Diego Costa made a couple saves again. They could have had another lead on them. They found something in these counterattacks with them pressing so high. They found them a little bit, negligent in the back, leaving like two of them on an island. And I feel like if you can go at them with speed, like Sporting has with Jenny, and if you can get Trincão good with the ball, there's something there. Yep. And you just, like, we say this all the time, you have to make the most of it. And I think that's what the problem is when you play Porto. These teams haven't made the most of their chances. Sporting has to make the most of those chances. You can't let that opening like Pavlidis had go by and not score it. You gotta make them pay for it.
A lot of Zabel made them pay.
Exactly. And they were a little frustrated, but I think Farioli's going to get them up for this game. I think them being at home also will back them up a little bit. The crowd will be in their favor. You could tell the crowd was with them after the game. They didn't expect. No one expects you to go undefeated in the league. So they knew this one loss was probably eventually coming somewhere. They just didn't expect it to come from a Gazapia. Like all of us.
None of us
You know
did.
what I mean? And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think the first 25 minutes of that game is going to be
have to weather the storm.
Have to weather the storm, the crowd and everything. If you can flip it and have everything just quite, because me and Derek know the history there. We have not had good times at the Dragão, especially with red cards. We have not had a good time over there. I'm trying to avoid that.
Mr. Godinho is the ref. That's not going to help. No.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that they've always had is like me and Derek are always like, just don't get a card. And it happens every time. Don't get the card. So we'll see what happens. But they were frustrated, but I see them getting up for this game.
Yeah. I got the Weather Channel up. Here's the forecast for Monday night in Porto, all right? Because this is becoming an issue. It's 55 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's like, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius, somewhere in there. It's comfortable. Temperatures shouldn't be that bad. But rain and winds from the south to southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it's at about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. So there's going to be some wind. It's going to be interesting. Which team is going to be more favored by bad weather on Monday night? Who does it play into better?
Oh, that's a tough question.
That is a tough question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Porto gets flashbacks of the Gazapia game? If it's the bad weather, they're like,
it
what?
Could be.
Why are we doing this again? Because, that was the first thing they said after the game. Pablo Rosario's right away. It's a disgrace. They should have made us play on this field. And I was like,
they went right to that,
Benfica playing at Tondela, they played on the same type of field, buddy. So it's okay.
Yeah. No, that's
so I think. I think Sporting will be our. I think they will accommodate better with the weather. I don't know, but we'll see. It's a tough question. I don't know.
They both play
Yeah.
tackle football, so
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. I don't. Yeah. And Porto are more comfortable defending.
Yeah, and they can
Yeah.
afford to like you said, the draw
Play the
suits
tie.
them more
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
game gets
Porto
very
are more
difficult.
comfortable defending. And we talked about Sporting's issues back that initial phase of construction. So that could certainly play into if you take into account the weather.
Mhm.
A turnover back there could be disastrous.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had turnover issues. Just this past weekend, the Nacional goal started on a turnover in a sort of a prohibited part of the field that led to Nacional's counterattack and the ultimate goal. Yeah, I mean, turnovers do happen more often in these conditions. And lately Sporting have been turnover prone. If you're looking at all of the games like this last 2-3 weeks. I mean, this may favor Porto. Hopefully Sporting. The mistakes are so obvious and clear. You don't have to be a football analyst to see what's been going on lately. Yeah, hopefully, we can make these corrections. We can minimize turnovers, and hang in there. Like Mauricio said, that first half hour or the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they're going to go at you. And we have to be prepared for that. We have to weather the storm. We have to come out of that 0-0.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, going down early would really hurt.
Yeah.
But one silver lining here, if you look at the Casa Pia game, that was really the first time that Porto faced adversity. They were trailing.
Yeah.
And they couldn't
It's a
get out of
different
it.
feeling for them. They hadn't trailed yet this season.
They couldn't find a way out of the adversity.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives Sporting hope. If Sporting can get that first goal, who knows what will happen. So I mean, that was another takeaway from that Casa Pia game. So this has all the workings of a very intriguing matchup, man.
Yeah. And just to answer his question, the weather, it's going to rain.
Yep.
He makes a good point. The pitch, I'm not so worried about it. That they're going.
Right.
I think the
Alvalade
wind could be an issue. Which team is playing with the wind at which half could become an issue. Now, so it's a south to southwest wind. The stadium, I'm assuming, goes north to south, like most stadiums. So someone's going to be facing, going to have the wind in their face throughout the game. So.
Listen, not to have William this game, by the way, that's huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yeah, I think, and he scored that big goal against him at the Alvalade. It was the winning goal.
Yeah, he has come up a couple of times for them this season.
Yeah.
Does that mean Rodrigo Mora goes into the starting lineup?
I don't think so.
No,
probably not. I don't think so either. I think for maybe any other coach in this league, yes, but not for Farioli. He's been consistent about this. And up until now, nobody's been able to really question it because the results have all gone his way. But if this match doesn't go his way, he'll have some serious questions to answer. Suddenly, it's going to shift. And I can see that fan base quickly turning on this team if they find themselves down a goal or two in this one.
I mean, I do see them going with that defensive midfield. I see Varela, I see Froholt, and I see Rosario.
Mm-hmm.
I see all three of them starting.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna make too many wholesale changes. So
I see three of those guys starting.
Z makes a good point right here. Sporting, he does have more firepower and less injuries right now. I think I agree with that. There's more of a balanced attack. There are more dangerous players.
It's Pot.
Yeah.
Do you still bring him off the bench?
Back, it's a different. What's that?
Do you still bring him off the bench? Do you still go with the same lineup there? Would you bring him off the bench?
I don't know. I think he might start.
There's Potts. There's Jenny. There's Suarez.
The national game, I love the way that Trincão came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he came in and he made a massive difference that last half hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was critical to we wouldn't have won without him.
Right.
So yeah, maybe like Tugao needs games like this where because he does have durability issues. Sometimes start on the bench, come back and come in that last half hour, make a difference. But I think we're gonna roll out all the guns, man. I think that you're gonna see Tugao in the middle. I think you're gonna see Porto on the left. When everyone was healthy, Jenny on the right, and of course Lucha Suarez on the attack. Yeoman will be back.
Yep.
And he'll be with Simaj. I think that's the way they're going to play it, man. I think that it's all the big guns are going to come out. I mean, Luis Guilhem, what has he shown us so far?
Right.
For a game of that magnitude, I think Porto's starting.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think the pressure's on Porto here. Sporting being I know they need to win, but I think because of the momentum right now, because I can see Porto fans' thought processes start to unravel. They showed a sign of solidarity after the match. They were applauding their player. They were trying to be encouraging. But I don't think they will be that positive if things turn sour early in this match or at any point in this match. It won't be the same type of reception at the end of this one if it's not a Porto victory or at least a draw on Monday night. And it is too bad this is on a Monday night. I understand why it's on a Monday night. I don't know why I guess Sporting couldn't play today because they played last midweek, so they got an extra day. But the Portuguese league and the federation could be so much better about scheduling these things.
But they're not.
Again, like I said,
they're not, dude.
It just seems like they throw these midweek cup fixtures wherever. And I know
they should all be played at the same
watch
time.
out. I mean, I'm saying watch out for tomorrow. They could
be
a surprise. They could be a surprise tomorrow because I'm telling you right now, Sporting is going to be looking ahead.
And I dare I say they probably should be looking ahead. In terms of importance, I don't think there's any question what's more important. So,
yeah. I just hope he rotates the team. Maybe get the other guys that are eager for playing time. Maybe that helps with them looking forward. Get some other guys in there that are hungry for minutes. Put them in there tomorrow.
Yeah.
He said Morton's going to start.
We need to start Guilherme again.
Yeah,
because we invested way too much in this guy. Like I
would start both those new wingers. I would start
or
both
fight.
of them.
I mean, one asinine thing we did. I hope you agree with me, Mauricio. Loaning out Allison was asinine. I think it's an asinine move.
It's an asinine move because
some people, have some commentators said, "Oh, this is great. This is great. Sporting's recouped the investment. What have you." One thing is that so it's a $3.5 million, 3.5 million euro, tax for the loan tax essentially.
Right.
So you get the 3.5 million euro. Do you honestly think at the end of this season, Napoli is going to give us 16.5 million euros for Allison? Does anybody on the show think this is going to happen? It's not going to happen.
Right. So what bothers me is that the teams like they're together. They all know
he found his niche.
Yeah,
he found his role on this team.
Yes.
I mean, look at the last games. I mean, he won us the game in Bilbao, and what happened just now at Nacional? He's the one who made the pass to Lucho to win the game. That's just two examples, but he has found his niche, his place on this team. Rui Borges has developed him into this super sub. So you're giving up this guy for 3.5 million euro, which is nothing. Look at what we've done in the Champions League. Just the Champions League alone, we've made over 60 million euro.
Yeah,
we're not hard up for cash.
No, 3.5.
I mean, 3.5 million euros is peanuts. So our calculus here is we think that Guilherme and Faye are going to be able to assume Allison's role, that they're going to be able to produce as much as Allison did. But that is an unknown. That's a variable. You don't know if it's going to work out. That right now I'm highly suspicious of Guilherme. To be perfectly honest,
I 100% agree with you.
So this was let's say this game is tied in the 65th, 70th minute. Damn, I wish we could have Allison go in right now, but we're not going to be able to. So I mean, that was when that news came back. When that news came out, I was just,
he's just another guy besides Jenny. He was another guy with speed that could
Yeah,
run at the
you can
defense.
infuse something new into the
Right.
game. Yeah,
And especially when the guys are tired and they're feeling for their legs. We don't
exactly.
have Ganda because he got hurt. He was the main guy that could do that. And
Yeah.
Jenny right now is pretty much by himself the only player that could really generate, go one-on-one with speed and everything. And the thing is, Allison, like Derek said, he's accepted the role. He knows he's only coming in for 10, 15 minutes, and he's going to make the most of it. And the thing is, he gets along with everybody. Everybody knows their role. They're happy to do it. There's been no complaints. Rui Borges has everybody doing what they need to do.
No.
And then you're going to do this you didn't even do this during the transfer. You did it on the last day.
It's amazing.
Like, dude, we're not, like Derek said, we're not hard up on the money. In fact,
No.
we already paid his thing after winning just one Champions League game. We already paid for that transfer.
Yeah, that's the prize money of one game, one win.
Yeah.
So what's €3.5 million?
Yeah.
Right. And you're getting two players that you just got. One who wasn't playing. He was playing for the West Ham under 21 team.
Yeah, he played 120 minutes in 5 months.
And Granada, I think, is fighting for regulation in the second division of Spain. So, even though Faiz played all those minutes,
these guys
not
could
the same
end up
tempo
being,
here.
these guys could end up being good. I'm not saying
Right.
that, but right now there's no chemistry.
Right.
There's no chemistry. They're gonna go in there cold. What can you expect out of that?
The only thing I can think of is, did Allison tell them, you know what? They're doubling my wages. It's a life-changing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go. And maybe, I don't know if maybe he encouraged it, like, hey, we got this offer. If you want to go, we'll make it happen. If not, but I don't know that. That's the only other thing I can assume. Maybe because
it has to be in the interest of the club.
Yeah, because I read the other report is that they doubled, almost tripled his wages.
They did.
And that's the only other thing I can think
He's
of.
He's only going to make that for half the year, though.
Right. So that's why I'm saying,
did
he think maybe I just need to do this because who knows if an opportunity this comes again, but maybe they kick me back to Sporting and I won't make those wages again. That's the only other thing I can think of. And that's why the team was probably like, hey, good luck over there and stuff and everything. But I just didn't like Derek said, the timing of it all. And especially us coming off such a great high, the Champions League, you win that last minute. Porto finally loses points. Don't hit me with this. Like, we're having a good week here.
Yeah, it's asinine. It was just, I don't know. Yeah. And people thought it was a great negotiation. No,
right.
I understand that, but I mean,
that's how much
he's under contract from Sporting. He signed the contract,
mm-hmm.
And it's in the best interest of the club for him to stay right now. I don't know. I when that news came out, I couldn't believe.
I guess, like Derek said, I'll probably feel better about it if they actually buy it, and we got 20 million for him to go. That's the only thing I would feel better about because
that'd be a miracle,
right?
Because listen, when he started, when he got chances to start here, it never worked out.
No.
Serie A is much more physical than the Portuguese Premier Liga.
Mm-hmm.
They're deeper. You're going to run into more quality teams, quantity and quality. Those legs are not going to be as tired as they are in the Portuguese Premier Liga. So it's a lot harder. And then, Napoli has to feel very, confident in this guy to invest that kind of money. I just don't see it happening. It was like when we did that a couple of years ago when we loaned out Jovan Cabral to Lazio, and the buyout clause there was 7 million euros. I'm like, yeah, we're never going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we never did. And I just don't think this is not going to happen. We're not going to get another 16.5 million euros for this guy at the end of the year. It's just not. It's not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. It's February. We're not going to get it. So this is just, this is bad. I mean, bad business. You got to be. It's a pipe dream if you think they're gonna invest that kind of money. I mean, I think he's a good player. I think he found a niche here at Sporting. But going there and doing that in Italy is something totally different. Yeah, totally different. I mean, look at Jokic now at Arsenal. This is a totally different reality now.
Triple on door.
Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, Rafinha. We all. He's the Image, and now look at him now.
Yeah.
Right.
I once said that about João Felix, and that turned out to.
Yo, listen, he's the only one showing up to play for Al Nassr all of a sudden.
Hey,
So
yeah, they're in their own. They're in their own.
Yeah.
Sadio Mane's found his form after the AFCON too. So
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But I wanted to switch gears for a minute and go to Braga now because another 4-0 win over the weekend over AVS Sad. Plus, getting the job done in Europe at the midweek. Braga are finding some stability now.
Yep.
They had a spell there, and then they had a rut, and now they're back kind of finding their form. Again, the goals are coming from the guys you'd expect: Horta, Zalazar, Pau Victor. Those are literally the names we all know about this Braga team.
Yep.
Clearly, I think they're still the favorite for fourth place, regardless of where they sit right now. I think throughout the second half of the season, they're probably going to be the most consistent of the teams fighting for fourth. They're already in fourth. They've passed Gil Vicente.
Yeah.
And at this point, they are 10 points behind Benfica. So they may just sit there in that fourth spot now. But this allows them also to focus on Europe. And depending where the draw falls in the round of 16, who they can, for them, if they can win a round of 16 tie and go into the quarterfinals of the Europa League, I think that's already a huge accomplishment for them, for what they've been dealing with. And first-year manager, again, this guy, when Dave has been watching, he's a Braga fan, and he's chimed in. He's been all about this coach being a long-term manager, which I think more Portuguese teams need to invest and believe in a long-term plan versus just sacking managers whenever you go through a bad spell of results.
Look at Estoril.
And Estoril, exactly. And I think Estoril have their guy too.
It's paying dividends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you guys see Braga stabilizing now as well as I do? And a trip again to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. I think for that team and where they are, I think for year one of a new manager, I think that when you look at it afterwards, I think you'll look back and say that that's a pretty successful start to a growth. Any thoughts on Braga and Z likes Braga's football this year? I do against the big teams.
I think they play great football.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'd say that. And we've seen that in the big games, especially in the big games. I mean, they were the better team in the Liga.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They came out with 0 points, but they were the better team. I don't think that. Beautiful. After Sporting took the lead at the Alvalade, they became the better team.
Yeah.
And then against
they beat Benfica in the cup, and they drew them in. Outplayed them for large swaths in the.
That first half, they were impeccable.
Exactly.
They were by far the better team in the first half.
Yeah.
So I think first and foremost, they played great football. They've dug themselves too great of a hole for them to challenge. To challenge to the top three. But no, they're going to find stability here. They're already into the round of 16. Plus, in that round of 16, you're not going to play one of your fellow top 8 teams. Eight teams.
Exactly.
So I think that they have a good chance of getting into the quarterfinals at the very least. I think they're going to hold, the fourth place. So yeah, you're going to look back on this as, a good year. You have a guy who's, getting your team to play football, proper football the right way, attractive football. So this is something to build on. And, if it continues like this in this trajectory, next year they can be a serious threat. Hopefully Salvador doesn't blow it up after he gets into a fight with him. But
that doesn't seem to be.
If that doesn't happen, then Yeah, you're right, Mike. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen because, after they lost in the Taça, I'm thinking of the ghosts of Salvador's past.
Yeah,
he would have fired the manager.
Right.
And
I think the nucleus of this team has been maintained season after season, a large portion of it at least. Yeah, they've had some guys come in and go, but the Hortas, the Zalazar's been there a couple seasons now. Yeah. They have something, and these guys are staying with Braga. I think they're the right age. They're a little bit on the older side, so they're not going to go. You got experience in a guy like João Moutinho, who's still, to me, very valuable in what he can do, especially in moments and in certain situations. They match up now. So Porto and Braga are in the same pot for the draw because they were, I think, 7th and 8th. So
Yeah, you're right.
they match up with the winners of either Ludogorets and Ferencváros and Celtic and VfB. That's what's that? Stuttgart. Yeah, Stuttgart. So they're gonna play. Both of them are gonna play one of those 4 teams. So there's,
I think both Porto and
should be favorites to go to the quarterfinals.
They're winnable games. Yeah.
And then even after that, I mean, they're gonna match up with, it looks like Midtjylland or Real Betis, unless they're knocked off. But Nottingham Forest and Fenerbahce are also in the path. So one of those teams could come in. But I mean, for Porto, we've said that this is a team that can probably go to the final in this competition.
Yes.
Depending how the draw goes, it looks like at least the semifinal.
I want those tough Thursday night games.
We all do.
Yes.
Yes, and that will keep the league interesting too, because especially the Europa League. I think it's especially tough to play those Thursday night games and then play Monday night league games, and that cycle just continues until you're out of the Europa League. I think for Braga, they can really put all the horses into the Europa League at this point. I don't really think Gil Vicente, as much as they, played great at first and we all were behind them, they're falling off a little bit, and I don't know that they can maintain this through the rest of the season. It wouldn't shock me if Vitoria finds their way to 5th place before we're all done. But there's a good chance here that we could see both of these teams make a run, at least to the quarterfinals, if not to the semifinals, depending on the draw. And especially if Porto get the tougher draw, I still favor them over Roma. I favor them over who's this? This is the German team, I think, right? This is Freiburg. Yeah, I favor them over either one of those. So I mean, they managed to avoid the path that goes through Leon or Aston Villa. That was huge. They got the results they needed late. I think, when all is said and done, I think Portuguese football might have close to a record year of points in Europe this year for the Portuguese league.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's great being in the Champions, but we know that there's a ceiling.
Yes.
I mean, the round of 16 is already great. Quarterfinals would be like making the finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Europa League, the Europa League is open.
Yeah. It's actually, as a neutral, I prefer to watch the Europa League because you just never know who's going to make a run and who might end up in the final. And I mean, in the Conference League too, you get an Olympiacos to win, or you just get different teams winning. In the Champions League, you can narrow it down to 3 or 4.
Now that the Champions League, the teams from the Champions League cannot drop down.
Right.
So much more open now.
I agree. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, again, like for me, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but my favorite thing when it comes to football is a great European run. I love the European run even more than like chasing a title. It's those European runs that stick with you, and
they make you believe no matter what's going on in your league and your week to week. It doesn't matter when you get to a European night.
The European runs are so much fun.
Similar to the small. It's similar to like the small clubs like a Torreense or a FAF making that run in the Portuguese Cup. It's a separate competition. The baggage of the week to week is out the door, and it's all about what you do on that night. And it is. There's real potential here for both of these teams to do something this season.
Right.
And you saw Z said a moment ago, he thinks Braga are actually going to do better because they can afford to focus on it. He might be right, because if the pressure is on Porto, they are not going to be risking it on Thursday night. If Sporting is at their heels a point or two behind. Right. And what I meant to say just a little while ago when we were talking about the Classico coming up, the first result was 2-1 to Porto. If Sporting win the head-to-head coming out of this, they have a far superior goal difference to Porto. They have like 10 goals better in goal difference, even though Porto's got that great defensive record. Yeah, I think that, the momentum really might shift at that point, and that would pressure Porto to focus on the league, I think, because they're not going to risk the league for a Europa League, I don't think, at this point in the season. It's been 3 seasons now since they've won. 3 complete seasons have gone by, or is it 4? It's 4 seasons. Sporting have won 3 and Benfica 1 in the last 4. So
Sporting won twice.
So it's been 4 seasons without a league for Porto. So I have to believe that's their 100% focus right now.
Yeah. You can't remember too many instances where they went 3 years without winning a title.
No, this is rare right now.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. No.
All right. Do we want to go into predictions? Or you guys got anything else that we didn't hit on regarding the league this past weekend or Europe last week?
I want to hit on something.
Yeah, go for it.
I am not real happy with what's going on at Rio Ave with this guy. What he's doing.
There's some shadiness there,
There's some shadiness going on. And let's start with the transfer stuff. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to try to sell Andre Luiz for 20 million to Benfica.
Yeah, we were laughing about it last week.
Yeah, we were joking about it the last time.
Yeah.
But then you sold him to your team, Olympiacos.
Went from the right pocket to the left
cashing
pocket.
in $6.5 million.
Yeah.
Instead of
what does that do for Rio Ave?
And on top of it, now you're going to plug and take Clayton away and put him on Olympiacos as well. Yeah. So a team that's fighting, who's only maybe I think looking at the standings, Mikey, tell me if I'm wrong. They're like 3 points up from the battle of relegation.
And they are bleeding right now.
Yeah, and they're bleeding. And you're going to keep your
they're 3 points from the playoff spot.
They are bleeding right now.
You're going to keep your Greek coach. You're not going to fire him like you do at Nottingham Forest or any of that or Olympiacos. Mm-hmm. You're going to keep him there because he's your boy. He's Greek and all. You're going to keep him.
And he doesn't want to pay him to go home.
Right.
So
I really don't like what he's doing to Rio Ave. And it's a shame. It's a shame to the fans there because they thought let's give him a little percentage. The guy would help out with the club.
They're a throwaway club.
It's a shame.
Well, we call a farm team here in America, basically.
Right. It's terrible. He's making it into like a second division Portuguese team, like a farm team, but you're putting the crap guys there.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even developmental guys or anything like that. And it's kind of frustrating, annoying to see. I saw today Estrela Madura is filing a complaint because they own 10% of the rights for Andre Luiz, and they want the money that Benfica was going to pay for him.
Correct.
You know
they want their cut.
If you're not going to put it back into your own club, they said, then we want the money. Mm-hmm. So it's a shame. I don't want it to turn into another like Bovista and stuff and everything going down. It's a shame.
No, we can't afford it.
I just wanted to say that because I don't really like what's going on.
It's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's very slippery slope. I mean, again, when I saw Rio Ave Benfica, a few weeks back, and Rio Ave looked so bad. Yeah. Especially in that first half hour. I chalked it up to Benfica. Benfica just, came in there so strong. And so I chalked it to that. But then you follow that up. They lost 4-0 after that to Nacional.
Yeah.
And then I watched a part of the Aroca match. At home, they were getting thrashed by Aroca. It was 3-0 at home. To a Roca team that has its own struggles. So this team is bleeding, and they just sold their 2 best players.
2 best players. Yeah.
So I mean, this could turn out to be really ugly.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Really ugly, too, especially now that Alvaro Pacheco's got some confidence going right now with Casapia. They could be moving up. I don't know.
Santa Clara just picked up Petit, if I'm not mistaken, who is known for saving teams. So.
That is correct.
And like I think that Santa Clara is good enough to stay up. So this is going to be.
It's going to be tight.
This is going to be very interesting to watch.
And Aroca has been playing teams tough the last couple of weeks. So.
They did. They invested heavily in the winter market.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is paying some dividends right now.
Yeah, it's really a dogfight down there in the bottom 5 positions. You got Aroca has 20, Casapia 18, Santa Clara 17, Tondela 13, and then AVS has 5. Rio Ave have 20, just like Aroca.
Yeah.
Right now, goal difference is keeping them a little bit safer, but that is a gravitational pull that can certainly pull you back into that race.
They're trending in the wrong direction.
They're going in the wrong direction. And there's just so much raw. I mean, this multi-club ownership thing that's taking off lately. We saw it even at, in the Premier League, where Crystal Palace had to move down to the
Conference League
because of multi-club ownership, because they couldn't say
Yeah.
Rio Ave someday get to 6th place and then they can't go to a competition because either Olympiacos or Nottingham Forest are there. That creates a whole nother. That's just a problem that shouldn't be allowed in sport. I mean, this is something. This is why you have governing bodies to prevent things like this. And he's talking about what we said at the beginning of the show. We talked about these historic clubs that are fledgling.
Clubs with fan
all
bases.
of those teams is what we talked about.
And maybe this isn't. I mean, this is something I've had this thought, and I've never really discussed it with anybody. Portuguese fans and Portuguese clubs hold this socio model so dearly.
Yes.
But so many socio groups have made so many mistakes in the way that they have voted, and they've desperately handed over their clubs to investors they think are coming in to do what's best for their club, and we've seen it. It's just Sportivo Zav, it's we talked about Académica like he did. Vitoria
did it?
Beira-Mar.
Wasn't it a Spanish conglomerate that took over Boavista?
Was it French? It was. The owner was owning. I think it was part of. Now I've lost
something French.
You think these guys come in and they're going to be saviors, but they end up being.
But they're not. They're just looking to add to their portfolio. And when they see they can't get their return on investment, they stop and they.
It's like that guy.
Look at this whole Chelsea
Strasbourg thing.
Right.
Leon and Botafogo.
It was Leon. That's exactly
he was the one that was
yes.
trying to claim Benfica as well and stuff. He was trying to add to
at one time.
Texter.
Yeah.
John Texter. That was who it is.
Look how that's turning out. And look at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and they Strasbourg is part of that group, so they took Strasbourg's coach to run Chelsea now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's an inexperienced guy now, coaching a Big Six club, just because he's part of the organization.
Yeah, it's similar to the Red Bull model. It's just
you're putting your club at risk.
Yeah. And Aussie Benfica says that here that Benfica wasn't stupid. They weren't, but Rui Costa almost did. I mean, he and I have no issue with hearing the guy out, and obviously he supposedly wanted a small portion, but we've seen what he's with Botafogo. He has been erratic, and he got a Libertadores and a Brasileirão, but the next season they were back to where they had been before.
They fired the coach.
And they fired the coach. Again, the stability goes right out the window. Right. And it's, I don't know. I think there's something to be said about this, but these clubs, I understand, are in a tough spot. They want to matter, basically, is what they want. They want to matter. They know they can't win the league, but they want at least their hometowns to come watch them, to be behind their home team. And it's tough to do that in Portugal because everything is concentrated in the big three.
They need to start learning from the Famalicão model.
Yeah.
Find the right players, a couple academy guys, sell them to clubs and all, and everything.
Famalicão also is in a partnership. I think it's with Valencia. So, which at first this run started with that relationship, but it was a relationship that benefited both sides versus what we're seeing with Rio Ave and Olympiacos and Nottingham Forest, that trio there. Clearly, Rio Ave are at the bottom of the priorities there. And they literally are just a holding place for players they can't move or managers they want to hang on to until later. We got a comment here. Let's see what he said. Yeah, it is. And Famalicão is a well-run club. We've talked about them. We're waiting for them to take that next step. But
they don't seem as dangerous this year for some reason.
No, but they're still, right there in 7th place.
They just sold their forward, the under 20 Moroccan kid up top.
Yeah.
He was playing well. He did great at the under 20 World Cup.
Mm-hmm. How about the real striker? 15 goals.
Yeah. And
Mauricio was in first place.
I agree. I think Mauricio will be back. And the league is a better league with Mauricio.
Mauricio's a big club. I think it'll be great to have him back.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll be the sixth. They'll be 6th in attendance right off the bat when they come back next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
they've done pretty well considering they've been relegated in the second division for a few seasons. They've continued to do all right in that, and I think they're a well-run club.
Yeah.
And they represent an area that also is good geographically. It's not good to have the entire almost the entire league concentrated in the Porto municipal, the what do you call it, in the metro of Porto. It's overrepresented right now, and it leads to things that it leads to conspiracy theories, let's just say, that wouldn't be there if you didn't have such a high concentration of clubs. Dave's here. Let's see what Dave has in the chat for us. Yeah, they were already up to exactly. He's right. This is the problem. They've been poorly run, and then they get desperate, and then they expect a savior to come in with their money and resolve all the problems. But of course, these people that come in want a return on their investment.
Yeah,
and it seems like they naively think in Portugal they're going to get, and I don't know why. I think the thought process is that a little bit of money is enough to put you in Europe or something, and you can quickly recover your investment. And it's just not the case.
No.
It's not easy to bring players to these teams. That's the other thing I think they might underestimate. And now, like we said, we see a Rio Ave that, it's not going to shock any of us if in 5 years they're where, Boavista and where those teams, Desportivo das Aves and whatever those teams are. Yeah. So hopefully that's not the case, because the league can't keep affording to lose these historic clubs, these established clubs.
Rio Ave is a historic club.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's sad. And hopefully this gets resolved. But yeah, you're right, Mauricio. This was scandalous at best, and corrupt at worst. Basically, he's taking money out of one pocket, putting it in another, and calling it a transfer and putting it on the books as revenue. So I know Man City's gotten in trouble for this exact type of practice in the past. So Z's got another comment. I'll put it up there. Let's respond to it. He says, in his opinion, the growth of the Saudi league has weakened I think so. Portuguese football. Why grind away in a club like AFS when you can? Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
And we've also seen players come to the MLS from these teams too. I mean, one guy who's playing with Lionel Messi right now is on Casapia. What's his name? Zagovia. No. Yeah. Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for these teams to maintain players of this caliber.
Listen, they just tried to sign Gustavo Sa. And luckily for Famalicão, he didn't agree to their wages, and he came back.
Yeah, and we've seen it. We saw Andrea Horta go to LAFC. We've seen
we just had Eustáquio go to LAFC.
Eustáquio is going to LAFC. We had the kid, the other Nuno Santos, who went from Benfica B to Charlotte FC, now back at Vitoria Guimarães, or he was last season. I'm not sure where he is.
There was a Porto player that went to the Chicago Fire. Was it Andre? Is it Franco?
Andre Franco. Yeah, Franco. Yeah, so we have seen it, and again, the buying power of Portuguese clubs is weak at best. I mean, the big three struggle to land the targets that they have, much less the rest of the league. So, and it's hard to find players on the budgets that these teams are working with. And the Saudi league obviously just is another avenue for South American players, which Portuguese teams used to depend on for the low buy-in and high possibility.
Flamingo just bought Paqueta for 40 mil.
Yeah, exactly. Paqueta just went to Flamengo.
Paqueta.
Yeah,
that's
40
true.
mil. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. The problem in Dave said the problem is the salary, and not
it is the salary.
It is. It's absolutely the salary.
100%.
These teams can't afford to pay these kind of wages.
Yeah. The wages are so poor.
The wages,
even at the big three clubs.
Yeah, and Z thinks that Porto letting Eustáquio go might destabilize their dressing room. He was a leader. Hey, I mean, they look like they could use a leader right now, and we'll see after this weekend. I mean, it won't be the first time next week if we're here with a completely different tone, and things didn't go the way we started to imagine or started to hope.
Because I mean, the thing is that if Porto goes and wins, we're right back.
We're back to where we were a week ago.
Right.
we're back
hopeless
to crowning them champions, until champions elect.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
Yeah,
let's go to
true.
the predictions for the upcoming week. Let's see here, fixtures. Okay, so the round gets started. Oh wait, this is just Braga's. Give me a minute. I got Braga's page up. All right, here's the league. Let's look at the fixtures. We've got. I'm so used to looking at FOTMob on my phone that when I look at it on a computer, I can't find anything. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Fixtures. So we start off Saturday. There's no Friday game this week. Estrela Amadora hosting Santa Clara in the early afternoon match. This is a 6-pointer down in the relegation fight.
The Chicotada.
I'm gonna go with 1-1.
I'm gonna go with the Chicotada. I think Santa Clara wins 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
My gut's saying 1-1 as well, Mauricio. I think you're on the money there. I think these two teams are gonna cancel each other out. But let's see. He's got a prediction. He's got a new coach bounce. He's
got the Petit effect.
It's a real deal.
Exactly. So all right, we'll see what goes on there. Gil Vicente travel to Moreirense, short trip for them. Same time, 10:30 our time, 3:30 Portuguese standard time in the afternoon. What do you guys think, Moreirense and Gil Vicente?
I'll go 2-1 Moreirense.
I'm gonna go 2-1 the other way. I think Gil Vicente goes in there and wins. The Moreirense has been a little off lately.
I'm gonna go 1-1 on this one. Also, I think both teams. I think it'll be close, but I think just the difficulty these teams have in scoring goals, I think, is going to end up resulting in a draw here.
That is true.
Dave says that with Petit back, Santa Clara draws for the next 16 matches and stay up.
1-1.
We got Moreirense 1, Gil 1 from Z. Okay.
I could see that too. Yeah.
All right. Estoril and Tondela.
Estoril's playing some good ball now.
They really are.
I
don't want to jinx them.
I don't want to jinx them.
I know.
Wherever Rui is, he's picking them to lose 5-0. So
Rui's thinking Tondela 5-0.
Yeah, wherever he is, he's thinking that.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Estoril.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Estoril. Tondela can't score a goal. It was like an interesting stat. I guess they have 12 goals.
Oh, wow.
12 goals. And 8 of the 12 are from set pieces. They've scored 4 goals from open play the entire season.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the Cristiano Bacci effect.
Z says 3-0 to
I agree
as well.
I think 3-0, man. I really do.
I think 3-0 is also where that was my first inclination too, was 3-0 for Estoril. They're playing good football right now. All three of us have said we're a fan of that manager, so we'll see. Dave says the Minho Liga is fire this year. Yeah, as usual. I mean, there's always good, strong representation in the Minho region in the league.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Minho region, Vitoria travel. They're going to go to Aroca, not in Minho, but they're going to make the trip south to see Aroca, slightly south, not all the way, but Aroca's played everybody tough. They've played the
be tough, yeah, it'll be tough.
Yeah.
This will be a tough matchup, I think. But Vitoria are at the point where I think they have to start getting results.
I agree. I'm gonna go 1-0 Vitoria.
I'm gonna go 1-1 on this one.
I'll go 2-1 to Vitoria. We got 4-2 for Z.
That'd be fun.
Vitoria's favorite. That would be fun to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have no North American TV partner, by the way. Anybody outside of North America wondering?
It's good. It's gonna finish that the rest of the year, man.
It is. There is no effort whatsoever to get these matches easily available to us.
No.
Which
Yeah.
the amount of matches I used to record on my DVR and rely on now, it's like
But there are so many like crap leagues that we have
I
access
know.
to.
I know.
That's what drives me nuts. It's not like I can only watch Serie A or Premier League. No, I can watch the Polish league if I want. I can watch the Turkish league. If I
The
want.
Turkish league is on all the time. So
The Scottish league is on CBS.
The Scottish league's on CBS.
Come on, man.
yeah.
Yeah, you get access to. ESPN has the ESPN Plus app. You have access.
Yeah, you got other leagues.
Belgian league.
And I think the Dutch league is there as well.
Yeah,
No one watches the Belgian league. So
Yeah.
yeah. You have a lot of Portuguese immigrants in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You would get some ratings here.
Right.
There are no Belgian immigrants living in the United States.
the only time that the Liga remembers that the clubs remember that we exist is when they want to come here and make money.
Yeah, that's
but,
about it. Yeah.
With overpriced tickets and sometimes lousy facilities depending who they're playing against. But I've seen some Portuguese teams play in some facilities that leave a lot
the
to
round
desire.
Stingrays, man.
Yeah, it's like
round Stingrays against Sporting. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like I once saw who was it? I saw Lusitania dos Açores play the Laza All Stars at Taunton High School. So it's like it was like $20 to get into a high school stadium. So all right, we moved to Sunday. We got Nacional hosting Casa Pia. Early game, so all day for the fog to clear. We joked about weather, but yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I think they're going to come down a little bit. I'm going to go 2-1 Nacional.
I agree, Mauricio.
Yeah. I was leaning towards Nacional as well. I think Casa Pia, after a big win, are going to have a hard time to maybe find that level again.
Yeah.
Z says 1-1.
Not an easy place to play.
I'll say 1-0 to Nacional. I don't know what the conditions are going to look like on the island. I don't know what the pitch looks like.
That's a horrible pitch.
It could be a slop fest. So 0-0 could also be a very plausible result. Yeah. And then we got an interesting one. We got Braga hosting Rio Ave. We talked about Rio Ave for quite a while there. And Braga in good form, like we said.
Yep.
Playing at home.
Keep on rolling.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep
that was probably
the
best game I saw Vitoria play.
Yeah.
This last game against AVS. He looked really good with Salazar. I'm going to go 3-0 Braga.
Soft part of Braga's schedule right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-0 Braga.
Okay.
I'm going to go 4-0.
I'll say 4-1. 4-1 to Braga in this one. Even though I don't know who's going to score a goal for Rio Ave. We just talked about them losing the two guys that basically combined for all their goals. So it's going to be a tough second half of the season for Rio Ave. I don't know how they stay up, to be honest.
I mean, it's a bad sign when they're not even tough at home.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
In a stadium that has always been difficult. Z says 3-0 to Braga.
I agree with
what Dave thinks.
4-0.
But all right. And then the night game on Sunday, we've got Benfica hosting Alverca at the Luge. I think Benfica bounced back, knowing that the two rivals are facing off on Monday. They're back at home, where the home performances have improved. Dave's saying 2-0. I think Dave's talking about the Braga game.
Braga game. Yeah.
But I think Benfica get a 3-0 win here against Alverca. I think Prestiani and Sheldrup have been playing better.
Yeah.
Rafa's going to get about a half hour probably.
Yeah.
Pavlidis is going to find a goal again. He doesn't usually stay pushing zeros for too long. So, and I'll be honest, Benfica will probably get a penalty. He'll convert it. That's been the way the matches have gone.
That's been the trend. Yeah.
It's been the trend.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it'll be too much trouble, but Benfica have been given kind of a lifeline with that Porto loss, and with Sporting still only 5 points away. They know that now it's got to be wins all the way out, at least until somebody else starts dropping points. So I think Benfica take care of business here, and then they wait to watch the two rivals duke it out on Monday.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with your 3-0.
I'm going 4-0. Yeah. Alverca is very unimpressive.
Z's got Benfica 2-0 over Alverca. All right, let's move to Monday. Is it just the one game Monday? No, there's two.
There's two.
Famalicão versus AVS in the early game.
Okay. Yeah, I 2-0.
I'll go 3-0 to Famalicão in this one.
I agree with Derek. I was thinking 2-0 as well.
Yeah, 2-0 Famalicão. Yeah.
All right. And then the big one, the one we've kind of centered the
We'll
show
save
around.
Derek for.
We got to save Derek for last. So I got a couple more predictions here. We got Z says that Famalicão went 2-0. Dave says AFS is cooked. I agree, Dave. I think I'll be shocked if they even register a team in the second division next season. I think that they're going down that same exact path we've now started to see.
They should have gone down last year.
They should have. They were lucky to stay up. They have no means of which to field a first division team.
No.
The league is healthier without them. Let's be honest, and they need to build something, but it can't be at this level. And I don't know that they're even going to be around. Let's see what he says. He hopes he doesn't embarrass himself. All right, Z is picking Porto 1, Sporting 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
He thinks the champions will show up and make it a tight race until the end. I don't doubt him. I can see a 3-1 in a case where it's 2-1. Porto are throwing everything forward, and then the counterattack closes it out, almost like an empty net goal in hockey. But I'll let Mauricio go first.
As much as I want to say what I feel, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do it, Derek, and hold it in. But I can see this just being 1-1, and I say 1-1 because I can see them scoring late in the game to deflate all the happiness that I have up at that 80th minute, and I'm going to be like, you got to be kidding me, because I don't have good memories there these last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's haunting me right now. It's that I think we're going to take the lead, but they're going to find a way after that 75th minute to tie it, and it goes 1-1.
I'll go next so that Derek can go last. I think, I have nothing to lose here. I think Sporting are going to pull it off. I think that this is going to be a tight game. It's going to be 1-1 late, and after the 90th minute, Sporting are going to find one more. This is, I think, I'm believing in Luis Suarez. I've come around on the guy I used to call Timu Suarez because I said he was the Timu version of Luis Suarez. But no, he's legit. He is the real deal. He's no joke, and it would just throw the league into a frenzy.
Right.
The first goal is very important.
And Dave, we talked about it.
Especially if it's Porto.
Half hour. Yeah.
How Porto
especially
went down,
if it's Porto,
and they weren't able to climb back. It was the first time this year they faced adversity and they couldn't. If
Porto get an early lead, I don't see them squandering 3 points. Maybe one. It may end a draw, but I think if Porto score first, they don't lose. But I think Sporting will score first. I think Sporting are champions. Okay, they've proven their quality, they've proven their consistency, they've proven their maturity for these big moments, and I think they know what they got to do in this match. And like you guys said, I think the Rui Borges owns the locker room. They're all in his camp. They're 100% behind him, and I think they're gonna. I just think they have something that the other teams don't have right now. And it comes from having won back-to-back titles up against the pressure. It comes from getting these late goals when it looks like when most teams just, kind of don't have that extra bit of spirit. They've done it match in, match out. I know it can't go on forever getting late goals to win, but I think they have one more left in them. And then I think this league turns into something we're going to enjoy for the last, 15 rounds or so. Let's see what we got here before Derek goes. Oh, okay. Z says Porto missing. Yeah. I see here Sporting has a bench. Sporting has a bench that can cause trouble. Yeah. Porto's missing Gomes. Yeah, we talked about William Gomes being out.
Yeah.
So he's saying Sporting. Porto missing Gomes, and they have less options to change the game. Yeah, he's gonna have. If he's hesitant to rely on Rodrigo Moura in this match, then that's gonna be something he's actually gonna have to answer for. Derek, go ahead. Tell us what you got.
Okay, I'll close this question. So, Mauricio, you're a Sporting fan. Right?
Yes.
Hardcore Sporting fan like me. Do you remember us winning there? And can you give me details about the games that we won there?
I'll tell you the truth. I can't remember the last time we won there.
It's the first time
exactly.
for everything. I couldn't remember the last time Benfica beat Real Madrid.
That's
so
why my heart
I've seen
wants
that
to
now.
say a win, but in reality, it's telling me that is just a field of nightmares with cards.
It is
and everything. It's.
I do remember.
Yeah.
I remember what double JB won there with Slimani scoring 2 goals. I do remember that one.
There you go. 26.
I do remember that one.
A decade.
Yeah,
wow.
I think that was the double J game.
He
that
could
was
be
the
right.
The Jorge Jesus, and I think Slimani scored 2 goals. I believe so. I think we won 3-1.
And a decade before that in 2007. So there's a pattern there.
Yeah. So in 07, I remember Rodrigo Tello's free kick that we won 1-0. I do remember that.
That's a great pickup.
And then I remember, I think it was late 90s when Marcos, it was like Marco Aurelio. We had a center back, Marco Aurelio, doing that dance at the end, and we won 2-1. That's pretty sad.
Yes.
That's 30-something years of being a fan. It is basically every 10 or 11 years.
Every 10 or 11 years, he says.
I'm just going to go with every prediction I've had with Porto. I think Porto's going to win 1-0. That's just how I feel.
Yo, you said it last week and they lost. So
I know, so I'm going to stick with that 1-0. I hope that this doesn't happen. But yeah, like Mikey said, I mean, if they score that first goal, it's going to be very, very, it's going to be very, very hard. And like Sporting's had the luck lately winning these games after 90 minutes. I just think the luck's going to run out, and it's just going to be. I mean, Sporting's going to fight. We're not going to get run over. It's going to be a fight. We might even play better than Porto.
He's going to start the three. He's going to start the 3 horses in the back. He's not going to go Moda as a left back. He's going to go Kiwar, Thiago Silva, and Bednarik. Like Derek said, he's going to pack that midfield, and he's going to ride the horses. That's what he's going to do.
And then up front, it's going to be Borra, Samu, and then on the other side, who do they play with? It's going
to be Pep.
It's going to be Pep.
Pepe.
Pepe. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it. And then I think Sporting. It's pretty. I think that it's going to be the classic starting lineup. It's Fresneda, it's Diomande, Gonçalo Inácio, Maxi Arroyo, Simone Schulman, and then I do think they're gonna roll out all the guns. It's going to be Potts, Trincão, Jenny, Suarez. I think that's the way it's going to be. I think it's going to be. And then the benches will play a role in this thing. We just loaned out our best bench player, but whatever.
All right. The only thing left to do, guys, is wait for them to play these matches and see what happens.
Let's see what happens, man. Should be talk next week.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you for everybody in the chat. We got one more comment here. Porto will get a penalty from VAR. They will rule that Diomande or Huyulman pull a Porto player down.
Okay,
so we know that Coutinho is the referee. Do we know who the VAR official is? That's usually.
I don't understand how this guy continues to be entrusted in these big games when he's shown us that he's capable of not handling these big games.
It doesn't even matter what team you support. You've had a bad experience with this guy.
I give credit
it doesn't really. It could be, but it's these big games.
I give credit to the announcers.
Is he okay? Z, are you serious? Is it really Tiago Martins? Because he is the worst VAR official there is.
Don't say that. But listen, that Porto game, the commentators kept saying, we always talk how bad the refs are. I just want to say one thing. This ref in this Portuguese Clubs game has been fantastic.
That goal shouldn't have counted.
It shouldn't have.
No.
But that's on VAR.
No, that was the foul. No, that was the foul. Rosario fouled that guy.
And
the Porto shouldn't even have scored one goal.
Right, and that's on VAR.
That was the
VAR
clear foul.
The ref.
That was a clear foul, and I just, I know they talked about Sporting the phantom corner and then the phantom penalty, and the internet blew up.
Yeah,
ball of red cord. They talked about it for days and days. That right there, that Rosario clearly fouled that guy.
Yeah,
before he scored the goal, it was a clear foul. I mean, and I mean, I watched Sport TV. The commentator brought it up, so it was a clear foul. All the publications I read state that it was a foul. It shouldn't have been a goal. But we're not making a big deal about it because it didn't affect the result. But I mean, I just want to put it out there. I don't think there's this conspiracy to help Sporting win these games. I think this happens.
I think it's incompetence across the board.
It's 100% across the board.
Once you watch enough games and not just watch your team, you realize these guys are not very
all over
good.
the place, man. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. It's been a long one tonight. Thank you for staying with us, everybody.
Awesome.
We will see you next week, where I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about from this Classico.
Yes,
all right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
See you guys.